Let's go. My people, I don't know. I think we have another hot one, people. But yeah, again, we know that's getting cliche at this point, right? Listen, people, if you are of the weak, the weary, the faint of heart, if you have thin skin and you do not do well with constructive criticism, all in the name of doing better than you did yesterday, people, you should leave. You should actually take off at a nice jogging pace and flourish into a run. See, because we do all of those things here, all in the name of doing better than we did yesterday. That's basically what this entire show is about. It's not about women. It's not about men. It's about coming up with architectural structures that provide the best possible outcomes in various situations, but we tend to apply it to our lives, right? People, let's get to it. Let's get to it. Listen, let's get these relationships together. A woman is supposed to be so valuable, so attractive, and I don't mean born gorgeous. I'm talking about made to be as attractive as she knows she can do. We're not talking about makeup. We're not talking about any of it. Find you, ladies. Find you. What I mean when I say find you, find that style, that hairstyle, that minimized makeup look that is the perfect fitting for you. You don't have to be competing with these other ladies. You need to find you. And I'm going to tell you something else. Something that you ladies don't think about often. Hire a stylist and a professional makeup artist. You only have to do these things a couple of times. Once those people help you put together a look that is enticing not only to you, but also enticing to your man, you can autopilot it from there. Whatever that hairstyle is that she helped you cultivate. After she helps you with it, you just start going to the salon and getting that same hairdo done over and over for the next 3 or 4 years. Right? When you're looking for a makeup professional, go to a woman that you can honest to God say you respect as a lady. You don't want one of these women who actually has the personality of somebody who really does fit in a hip hop video. Somebody who you believe really did do the makeup and all of the extras in one of Glorilla's videos. See, her mentality is going to draft you that way. What you want is a person that her personality says when she paints a Picasso, it's more than likely going to resemble the aura that she kicks out, which is ladylike class. So she's not going to overdo you, right? She's going to create an image of you your man will be pleased with. Listen, those of you who don't even have a man, you need to begin this, because once you begin this and you put yourself together well and you go out in public, you're going to attract a different caliber of man. But here's another thing. Your mentality. You cannot put a fur coat on a pig. You can, but it will resemble what you did. Well, never mind. We're going to get into that. Did I tell you guys we have a hot show? You knew that? I don't blame you. A woman is supposed to be so valuable and so attractive that she compels a man to not want to lose her, which in turn propels him to begin doing all of the things that he knows should impress her, right? Modern women today, they've forgotten all. I'll take that back. They don't even know about it. They don't know about it. Have you ever noticed that the only thing that you hear on dating sites, on social media, the only thing that you hear women talking about is what they want out of a man, what type of man they want. They even have detailed descriptions of him. You may have never thought about this, but I'm going to bring it to your attention. Let's be honest. You're not on social media seeing other women talk about the things that they would like to do for a good man. It's not of any concern. Nobody's talking about nor thinking about what men want, what would make men feel good. And you're jamming yourself up right then and there. But listen, we're going to change some lives tonight. A lot of you ladies don't even understand. You've been getting the results that you've been getting because you've been doing it wrong. And I'm going to go so far as to say this. A lot of it's not even your fault. You were failed. You were let down. A lot of it is not your fault. You were told by your moms and your grandmoms the absolute worst things that a person can be told to get dating results. Go get your college degree. Focus on your education. So you don't resemble something that a man looks at and says, I have to take care of her. You resemble something that says, I need to turn myself into something that I don't never have to rely on a man. That's what you resemble. Now, I do understand the logic associated with making sure that no one can ever booby trap you, or not even booby trap, so that you aren't ever backed into a wall and you can't fend for yourself. I get that. But your mentality should not be that. A man should not be able to interact with you and tell that you're one of the modern women. Nobody wants modern women. You guys can't see that yet? Here's why I say a lot of it's not your fault. You weren't taught how to care about what a man wants. Do you understand? Not with the coochie, not with the little conniving ways, not with the trickery that you guys think has been working. Do you understand that that is how you get the things you want from a man? You guys have been taught to lead with your poontang. What that does is it makes me view you as an object. You ladies don't even realize you won't even have to ask men for things. If you push the energy in their direction that says, I care about how he feels. If you push the energy in his direction, none of you are on social media hearing women talk about the little surprise things that they've done for a man. And I'm not talking about in marriages. I'm talking about you ladies that are dating. How come you're not taking somebody out? Listen, a girl, I don't know, it was about 6 months ago. I was sick. I think I had COVID. So that means it was longer than that. I always say no anytime a woman asks to do anything for me. It's no, 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 no. She took it up on herself to send me Uber Eats. Not only that, I didn't have any food in my refrigerator. I'm just that type. When I'm on the grind, I'll starve myself. I'm just not going anywhere. I'm building that media center. And I'm ordering this and that until it's done. That woman ordered me Uber Eats. I don't think I've had Uber Eats ever. And it impacted me. Because men don't get things done for them. I think that order might have came up to $13. And it impacted me. Because a woman was doing something for me. Right? It felt really good. It felt really good. It felt like a Christmas gift is what it felt like. But not only that. She said, look out on the bench in front of your house. She had went and bought some groceries and things. I'm not talking about you skanks. I'm not talking about those of you who have bad intentions off the top. I'm talking about you ladies who really want better outcomes, who really think, I want to change. I've been on my whole phase. I can't do this forever. I know deep down I'm a decent person. You have to change what men see about you when they hear you talk and when they see your energy. How many times? I'll give you an example. My brothers back home, they're always doing things for people. Like, these are the people that people go to when they need funerals. About 3 of them. When they need funerals pitched in on, they go to my guys, right? Here's how impactful it is when a woman does something for a man. One of the mutual girlfriends reached out to either it was 2 of my guys. Hey, meet up here at the favorite tavern, whatever, this and that. It's all on me. That impacted them so much that they told me about it. You guys want. So I'm going to ask you ladies, when is the last time any of you really did that? If you don't do those things, you're not going to stick out to men. You're going to be another piece of poontang, is what you're going to be. Because you're not doing nothing any of the other girls that they deal with aren't doing. When you act like you care about what men are interested in, inadvertently, it propels him to begin doing all of the things that he knows will impress you. You won't even have to ask him for help on that car note. He'll be looking for something to let you know he's rocking with you, that he's digging you. Inadvertently, by default, a valuable woman is all that is needed to cause a man to seek to go to higher levels of himself, to go after promotions at his job. A valuable and attractive woman is pretty much all that is needed to cause a man to start working out. You ladies aren't doing anything to stand out. And for one, most of you look the same. I don't know if men have told you this. This new look that you guys have, you all look the same to us. You look like clones of each other. You all have the weave. You all have the nails. You're all caked up in makeup. I'm telling you, you look the same to us. So we kind of treat you all the same. Why do you think we've heard women say this lately? Why do hoes be getting wiped down and stuff sometimes? And I didn't. Because you resemble her. You think your quality was higher than hers, but you resemble her. I tell people all of the time, personalities are attached to looks, and that's how we judge you. If you're running around constantly half naked, we know that you're a bust down. And there's no reason for me to treat you like anything other than that. You're not compelling me to. I'm going to say this again. An attractive and valuable woman, she won't really have to ask a man to do certain things. He'll start doing things that will assure that he doesn't lose access to you. Most men, if you present something valuable to them, will set out to achieve all of the things that he believes will cause a woman to be comfortable committing herself to him and only him. He'll start looking at you like property. And that's another thing. You guys' ego, you got to let that go. You got to let the ego go. You guys trip on when guys say she belongs to me and that's mine. Men and women aren't equal. You shouldn't want any of those things. You shouldn't want it. If I view you like you're equal to me, I don't see anything that I need to do for you. My stepdaddy always had money. I never knew what to do for him. Like, this guy had everything, right? That's the box you guys are painting yourselves in. To even desire to be equal to a man is crazy. It's crazy. But we're going to get you some results tonight. We're talking about a very valuable and attractive woman. A man will will himself to make her life easier so that she sees enough value in him to commit herself to him. Again, I'm going to say a lot of it is not you ladies' fault. You didn't even get to see it. A couple of generations of the visibility of that behavior skipped you. It's almost like me trying to explain to some of you 20-year-olds how fun ColecoVision was. You don't have a clue. And what a lot of you don't understand, some of you don't know if men like me are lying when we tell you about these things that took place and yielded results. I'm telling you, ladies, the way you guys are moving now, it is not more effective than the way your great-grandmothers were moving. Those men felt special. Those men felt like they meant something to those women. But you were taught generations of selfishness. And therefore, men look at you a certain way. We just bust you down. It's really that simple. You never offer to do anything for us. You never say, listen, I'm coming to pick you up and we're going out to do whatever on your dime. And you're not even losing out. Think about this. You're not losing out. If you really want to be technical about it, that one thing a month that you have taken it upon yourself to do for him, we both know if we do the math, it's not going to equal a fraction of what he does for you on a regular. Because it's a traditional default setting. Men pay for this, men pay for that, men accommodate just to get the things that we want from you. If you want to be treated like more than a bust down, start doing the things that bust downs wouldn't dare do. I have bars, don't I? That's why a lot of you people come to this channel, no matter how crazy the title may sound, you know there's going to be logic behind it. If you guys want better results, start treating people better. You have been taught nothing more than how to be selfish. That's what you've been taught. You don't even know. You present yourself as a value to a man. And listen, I'm going to give you guys the resources. I'm going to show you how to change all of these things about yourselves. We're not just going to talk about what you don't do. We're going to get better results to where a man will pay that car note or at least half of that car note without you asking. Do you know where gifts come from? Gifts come from when somebody has you embedded within them, where they think about you often enough like that. That's where gifts come from. And I'm talking about the gifts you didn't have to ask for. That man will position himself. If you move right, that man will position himself to be a homeowner. So he will have his own place that he can bring you into and make your life easier. The reason that a lot of you ladies aren't receiving this type of energy from men is because these men have assessed you and deemed you not valuable enough for him to do all these things for you. I know that sounds heavy. Turbulence, people. Right? I know that sounds a little bit rough. But you shall know the truth. And what? I forgot you people don't like the word free. A large number of you ladies, due to how you move, due to how you navigate around in society, and your just overall value, most men could kind of care less if it even works out or not with you. But what I'm telling you ladies is, there's people on here who know what I'm talking about. Valuable women, if those women told a man, you know I'm crazy about you, and you've done a lot of really cool things for me, but it's not going to work. There's people on here who can vouch when I say that woman had the ability to have a grown man in his house with his mom has left the other side of town to come sit on that couch and be rubbing his head while he's broke down. None of you women have ever seen that. These men do not value you at a high enough value to drop a tear about you. Value is what we're talking about. Topic of tonight's show, people. Traditional women did this to get their way with men. They treated men decent. They didn't always do this. But what about the men? That's you guys' go-to. Stop it. You guys aren't even getting any types of results from men. And there are definitely results buried deep within men. We proved it since the beginning of time. We do things. We take other men off of this planet behind you ladies. Well, not some of you ladies, but valuable women. A lot of you women can't get a man to throw a punch over you. He'd feel stupid. He wouldn't want to let it get back to certain environments. People at the office were talking about, he got into a fight and got cut by a glass bottle about Cynthia. And when they say that, that means Cynthia's value. People know Cynthia has been passed around the office. And a lot of men know that, so they won't make certain moves with you. Increase your value. A lot of you, right now, if you tell a dude that you and your body is off limits to him right now, there won't be any heartache associated with it not working. You won't be on his mind throughout the week following I don't want to call it a separation because you guys aren't together. Most of you guys don't even see enough value in yourselves to make a man do some type of commit. You're cool with just, having sex. The reason you're cool with it, because you got 2 other guys that you deal with too. No man can see value in you like that. No man can. I'm going to say this again. You women aren't moving in a way that could buckle a man if you told him that you needed to take a break. You don't think that's crazy? Here's why I'll say some of it's not your fault. A lot of you ladies never saw that bosses, we're talking about people who have reputations for being very masculine, no nonsense. A certain value and caliber of woman has been known to have that very man in his home, on his couch, with no appetite. Even though other men who people are scared of him. The truth is, the way a lot of you are moving, you can tell a man that you don't want to see him anymore. Or even if you're in a relationship, it's going to be a fake relationship because a man won't involve himself in a serious relationship with a woman of low value. And the truth of the matter is, if you told that man, that very man right there, that it's going to be over or that you need some space, due to your value, that man could get right back out there on the dating highway entertaining other women who he has already assessed is a higher value woman than you the very next day after you guys go your separate ways. That's crazy. You mean not one snot bubble out of the nose? Not one day of him not being able to eat? And here's the thing, that you can't run from this. No one is in control of your value but you. No one. No one is in control of your value but you. I'm just going to say it. Turbulence, people. Ladies, a lot of you are low value in the eyes of men. And one of the main reasons why, they can't really remember many things that you've done for them. Think about what I'm saying. You know I'm right. How many of you ladies watching right now did something cool for the guy you're dealing with this week? And I'm not talking about sex, because that's your lead, that's your go-to. It doesn't count. He can get that from a crackhead. That doesn't count. If most of you had your vajayjay and tatas removed, what value would a man see in you? Based on how you're moving right now. Based on the things that you typically do for a man right now. If those 2 power items were removed, what would someone be able to say that you do that they can remember and that's important to them? That's where it gets kind of rough. I don't say that a lot of you are low value in the eyes of men just to be rough. The reason I say it is, if you weren't, a man would do more than just have sex with you. I'm talking about those of you who acknowledge that me and so, we only have a certain type of relationship. He wouldn't be able to do it if he saw a certain value, even though you guys have that arrangement of you guys are each other's creep. He wouldn't be able to keep coming around you without wanting you all for himself. I'm telling you this. That's a fact. If there was something that you were doing that made yourself irresistible to him, that made it to where he feels like he can't be without you, you would see it in his response towards you. People don't typically see amazing things and run in the opposite direction of them. And here's the thing. Those tools that I'm telling you ladies about that have the ability to not only change your life, but dramatically alter the quality of dating options that you're used to getting, sadly, a lot of you don't have them. A lot of you do not have the tools that are necessary to increase your value in the eyes of a quality man. A lot of you ladies have taken yourselves through so many experiences, picked up so many bad habits, damaged yourself with sexual trauma so badly to where how you are now does not fit the criteria of the standards for a man that you want. As you are now, currently, you cannot go into the dating market expecting to get any man of quality. Not how you are now. A lot of you you haven't stopped to think about all you've endured these last 5 years that you've been on the dating highway. You don't know that your bumper is hanging off. You don't know that your rear view mirror is dangling. You don't know that your tail light is cracked. You don't know because we don't look at ourselves. And sadly, we often don't even assess the results that we've been getting. But you better know this with all of your heart. There's reasons why you've been getting the results that you've been getting. It's because of that tail light that got broken on the dating highway. It's because of that fracture in the windshield that you incurred while on the dating highway. It's because that rim got bent when you bumped into the median on the dating highway. There's a lot of totaled out cars lingering on the side of the road of that dating highway, people. You just haven't stopped to think how close you are to totaled. And you need to think about these things. Because if you catch it before it's too late, before you hit your DRA, your dating retirement age, that age in which the dating highway no longer accepts your applications, no longer flies your resume out to the people who are traveling on that highway, if you catch it before you hit your DRA, you can start fixing it. You can start making yourself more valuable. My brother said, my bro with the super chat. Hey, my brother said that check engine light. That check engine light. I appreciate the super chat, my brother. I'm not going to jump off topic, but I'm going to jump on something. It is imperative that you switch your friends. It is imperative. If the people who you've been associating with for the last 10, 15 years, if being around them has not caused you to become valuable enough in the eyes of any man that he wanted to snatch you up, you need new energy around you. You need new energy around you. You need a restart. You need a reboot. You need to be remodeled. And here's one of the coolest ways to be remodeled for a little bit of nothing. Inject yourself into a group of valuable women. Into a group of women who do the opposite of the things you've been doing for the last 20 years. Women who belong to bowling leagues. Women who go to Top Golf. Right? Women who run triathlons. Starting to sound foreign, isn't it? But what I want you to do is pay attention to these women's lives. And when I say that, you may say, well, I don't know any. Get on meetup.com. You guys know I speak highly of meetup.com because it is an amazing place to network with people who don't live in your general district. If you want to move to a different state and start over, get on meetup.com. Whatever the things are that you like to do, there's a group for it on meetup.com. If you network correctly on meetup.com and other social media platforms, before I moved to California, I went on a tangent of friending people in LA and interacting with them on Facebook. And I probably friended about 100 people that I didn't even know. And I became cool with about 6 of them. And we would talk back and forth. You know what that did? When I got to LA, I had people who were already familiar with the LA scene who could help me get a better gist of what was going on. A better gist of what areas were good to move in, what areas were dangerous. See how this thing works? Listen, people, I need you to hit us with a thumbs up to let us know you're rocking with us. Let's get it going, people. Drop that thumbs up in the comments. If you'd like to come up on the panel, if you disagree with my information, listen, we can have a respectful dialogue. We can have a respectful disagreement. You can come up and share your viewpoints. See, I'm so confident in the information I dispel that I'm open to someone challenging my information. I'm open to it, long as it's respectful. Those of you who would like to come up, inject some information you might have into the conversation, click the link in the description. I'm going to say this again. As you are currently, after, and some of you haven't even come off the dating highway, you're still on there. The tail light is still cracked. A windshield wiper is bent. The rear view mirror is dangling. One of the rims is bent. And you guys, listen, some of you, the car has broken. You've broken down. But soon as you got a backyard mechanic to tinker up one of the areas, not to fix, but just enough to where you can get on the road again, that's what you did. You never went to the repair shop, therapist. You never went to the repair shop. You guys keep getting banged up on the dating highway and jumping right back on that highway, tore up. Now your car is you're starting to look worse than everybody else now. And men can see this. They can see your bruises, your abrasions, your dings, your fender benders. If you want to translate that into human behavior, your new attitude, your bitterness. There will be things about you that you have incurred along your journey on the dating highway that you don't know are turning men off the moment they talk to you. Just like that, they're going to assess your value to be nothing more than somebody that I go get off on when it's time to get off on somebody. Miss Brenda with that super chat up in the situation. Listen, one of the most important things that you can do is switch your crowd. Once you switch your crowd, your information is going to switch. You cannot get back out on that dating market expecting to attract anything of quality. Now, I want to ask you, this is just from a common sense perspective, and let's be honest with each other. If you haven't taken that car that has been on the dating highway for so long, if you have not taken that car to the repair shop, should you expect different results by just jumping back out there on that dating highway? No. You're not going to get any compliments on that car. You may get some insults because people see that car. They see the dings. You people are jumping back out on a dating highway before you even get repaired from the damages that you've incurred on the dating highway. I Can't say this simple enough. Quality men expect more out of women. I swear to you. And them being quality men, they don't have to put up with the things that you're used to being able to get away with the lower quality men that you're used to being able to easily satisfy. See, that's the difference. That's why a lot of you who are legitimately fives, which there's nothing wrong with being average looking. Most people are average looking. That's what average means. That's why most fives you see on social media, they're calling themselves 10. It's because when you associate and you date and you deal with lower quality men, it's easier to satisfy a low quality man because he knows he ain't SHIT. So even your overweight attention makes him feel like he's making a move. You can't pull that stuff on a man who's turned himself into something. You can't pull that stuff on a man who other men hold him in high regard. Other men respect him. He won't dare let you pull that stuff, that low quality man stuff on him. A quality man will walk away from you and change his number and never speak to you again if you get out of line. And this is what I told you, ladies. A lot of you talk about you want, and listen, when I say quality man, that's different from what you guys are used to hearing the buzzword high value man. A high value man is completely different. He won't look in your direction. When I say a quality man, I mean a man who has his life together. He's not rich, but he has his life together. He's done well for himself. He has his own house, and you can tell he's stable. Maybe making $100,000 a year. That's a quality man. A man like this won't take your bull crap. He won't take your bull crap because he's built a decent life for himself. This is a man who's probably in some type of upper management role, right? He's not high value. High value is completely different. High value means that people wake up and rely on being able to get in touch with you before they can proceed on with their day. You are that much of an asset. You really don't have time for yourself. This is high value. People throw that term high value around a lot. You people really don't know what you're asking for. I'm not a decamillionaire, right? And I wish one of you ladies would think that you can engage in some type of romantic relationship with me and not play your role as a woman and think that you're going to impute some type of authority in any conversation that me and you have. I don't think after a couple of dates with me, a woman her mind would even go there. Listen, I've played the simp role before. I've told you people this. A woman caught me in a vulnerable place, a banged up place, right? Caught me acting outside of myself. I don't care. It doesn't affect me to admit that. Most of us have had that situation. The bounce back is what's most important. A lot of you ladies who are talking about you want a man with extreme means, I don't think you do. I don't think that you do. A quality man has adapted to the patterns that have taken place in his life. He knows how frequently he gets attention from women who are either equal to you or above you. Therefore, he knows that dismissing you isn't going to hinder him. It's not going to be a big issue because there's other women who friends of his have tried to hook him up with who are more beautiful, who have already been groomed on how to be of value to a quality man. Basically, I'll be honest, these are two entirely different worlds that we're talking about. And some of you don't belong in that other world. I'm not being mean to you, but I'm guaranteeing you that a lot of you don't belong in that other world. To just allow the thought to pop up in your mind to walk behind him while he's sitting on the couch and start rubbing his neck. Even to go get a damp towel and put it on the back of his neck while you rub his shoulders. You see where we're going with this? A lot of you, the thoughts that are popping up in your head, right? No, I'm not finna kiss nobody's ass. The fact that anything closely related to that thought would pop in your head, I'm right. It's not for you. My brother said it's not too late for most of these. My brother said it's not too late for most of these women, but the women my age, they really put themselves in a bad situation. Pair bonding is very important, but most of these women won't realize that. What he's talking about is after a certain amount of sex, a woman loses her ability to attach herself to a man emotionally, which is why a lot of people are running around. We're not going to get into that. Yes, we are. You know how a lot of you say marriage is work? It's not really. It wasn't for your grandmother, because your grandmother hadn't had so much sex to where she wasn't able to attach to her man. You remember when a man could hit a woman the right way, especially if he was good in bed, and she would be sprung. Everybody would know she was sprung on him. She's blowing his phone up and all of those things. That's because her body hadn't been abused to the point of breakage. Think about it. All you have to do is ask yourself, were the teenagers 30 years ago having less sex than they are today? Yes. That's why those girls could get caught a HOE and walk all the way home crying. They weren't damaged. You guys have encountered so much to where you're almost numb to everything. You've become numb to extremes. Sex is pretty much nothing to you. The reason marriage didn't seem like work for your grandmother is because they probably only had 3 guys before your grandfather, and some of them didn't even have that. So when he touched her body, she was still yearning of that. She was still appreciated to be getting touched like that. You guys aren't appreciative of it because you know, even if you and him get into it, you got 50 guys in your DM right now. Even that thought keeps you from being able to attach yourself to a man. Just knowing that you have those endless opportunities keeps you from being able to attach yourself to a man. And here's the thing. Men know when they're dealing with a woman who is not attached to them. Because a woman who is attached to them, the slightest notion that this relationship's not going to work, that's how valuable this clip is. I often catch myself having to resort back to it, but I know I don't have it in here. But for those of you who are familiar with the clip that I typically used to go back to, it was the one where the boy, he was breaking up with his girl, and she was like, Gary, please don't go. I'm begging you, Gary, please don't go. That's a woman who hasn't been broken. She still has it in her to fight for what means a great deal to her. And she don't care. Look, he was recording it. She didn't care. She didn't care that the world saw her clowning and embarrassing herself to petition to fight for this man. A lot of you have encouraged so much sex, you could care less the next day. You wouldn't even fight for a situation. A lot of you would say, let the doorknob hit you where the good Lord split you. You're a broken woman. I'm just being honest with you. Men can tell when a woman has lost her ability to attach. When a woman won't do the things that are required or that are necessary to keep that relationship good. A lot of you guys have been poisoned by your moms and your grandma. Don't you kiss nobody's ass. And that messed you guys up. It messed you up so bad to where if a man cheats or something like that, and you know he's a good guy and you don't want to lose it or whatever, you've been so abused, you've been so brainwashed to where in your mind, cheating is the end all be all. Even though typically when women get out of a relationship, it's years before they get in another one. Are you crazy? I'm telling you, stop that behavior. Stop that behavior. You don't want to be alone when they diagnose you with diabetes and you're 56 years old. You don't want to be alone when you hear somebody kicking at that door downstairs. You don't want to be alone on those nights when you look on the news and they say the United States is at war. I have to ask you this. As mind-blowing as it is to men, we know that you're emotional creatures. We know. All of the things that I just named, I just don't even know the words to use. All of the things that I just named that a man makes easier on you. When you go to the doctor and they diagnose you with that and he puts his arm around you. When even just having that body of security laying next to you every night, not just when you need some booty, every night. The security of looking at your watch, knowing any minute your guy is walking through that window, through that door like clockwork. You guys are telling me an experience that amazing and that powerful isn't worth you swallowing your pride? Because after you lose it, statistically, you'll be single for some years, and then the relationship you do get into is going to be with a man who didn't care about you as much as the guy that you just, right? It is better to deal with the devil you know than the one you're going to have to find out about. As far as quality men, especially medium quality men, some of you ladies have incurred so much damage, you don't belong on that side of the fence. And I'm being honest with you. It would take so much to change the roots of who you are and what you've been through into something that would be respected and acceptable by a medium quality man, to where the odds are likely you wouldn't even be willing to put that amount of work in. Because a lot of you have put yourself through so much sexual damage and other types of damage that you're damaged. And a lot of you ladies don't know this, so I'm telling you. Men can meet a woman on the first date and tell how fresh she is off the dating highway, about how many sexual partners she has. Listen, that's why men assess you and start treating you a specific way immediately. There is a sex only box. There is a she's worth getting to know to see where it goes box. There is a she's marriage material box. You all fit into a slot, just like men do. Only thing is, men will always have value because we're protectors, right? A goofball man is going to be associated with value. A goofball man, a crackhead, can defend a home. Even a crackhead, just living in your home, studies show is a deterrent from would-be predators attempting or even plotting on coming in your house, breaking in your house. Because all men know that no matter how big or how small, a man is a threat. A man is a threat. I'm going to say this. Some of you ladies are severely damaged and you don't know it. Do you know, I want to say this to you because I'm going to give you a gist. I'm going to spell this out to you. I want you to think about this. I want you to think about getting into a relationship. And then let's just hypothetical this. a man telling you he wants to be with you, only you, nobody but you. You let him start going raw. You guys are having passionate sex for about 3 months. You get pregnant, and then something happens and that relationship doesn't work out. Follow me, follow me. You're getting up while you're definitely tired because you work too. You're a nurse, right? So you have to, your job is hard, 12-hour shifts, but now you're having to get up to the crying of newborn baby, right? You're having to burp babies. You're having to feed babies. You're having to drop. You don't think that that is trauma? But that's not it. That's not it. Finding out that he's not going to do any contributing to the child, right? Then that's trauma that you're going through, the back and forth with him. But here's the mega bomb. When you do it for a second time, you're a 2-time baby mama and having to go through double of the stress and do your job. Not only that, you're starting to understand how men treat women who are single moms. The truth of the matter is, you have to be, in order to score with a quality man or a medium quality man, and you're a baby mama, you have to have very pleasant behavior. You have to be in shape, and you have to be decent looking. Even if you're not decent looking, what will increase your odds as a baby mama of getting in a real relationship is if you get your body in shape and you have a very pleasant, classy, ladylike demeanor, right? But my point is this. A lot of you, if someone asked you, you wouldn't even know to tell them that you're damaged. Even though everything that I just said to you, the waking up in the middle of the night, finding out you got deceived by him, now you're a baby mama. So in the quest to find the love that everyone else has, now you give him a try. Now you're a 2-time baby mama. You think that that isn't a ton of trauma? You are damaged. But a lot of you don't even know that you're damaged. And you keep jumping back out there on the dating highway, getting bad results. It's because you haven't taken yourself to the auto body yet. You haven't went to get repaired. And every time you jump back on that dating highway, men can see your dents. They can see the scratches. They can see the bumper hanging off. All of the damage that has been done to you while you've been on the dating highway. Listen, people, we have too many people in here. Where's my show sponsors? Hit that Cash App. Yeah, we have it popping across the screen. Hit that Cash App, people. Let's get it going. I'll say this. To a lot of you ladies who do believe that you have what it takes to do all of the things that are necessary to change and qualify for a medium quality man, to do what you're going to have to do, you're going to have to heal and repair yourself from all of the things that you know you did to your life that damaged you in the areas that you know you're damaged in. But first things first, you have to come to the understanding of whether or not you're damaged. I'll help you with that right now. Turbulence, people. If you haven't been in a relationship in 5 years, and those are the people who are familiar with the show, what I consider, well, what the world considers a relationship. Somebody that your friends know. People typically don't see you without him, right? You guys are together all of the time. You have family members who call him cousin or bro. Your mom or your grandmom is crazy about him. For those of you who haven't experienced that in 5 years, and now we're going to go to the extreme with it, dare we say 10 years you haven't had that, you're damaged. It's a fact. You're damaged. We cross paths with roughly 10,000 people per year, right? That is 100,000 people that you have crossed paths with and not compelled one of them to see enough value in you to say, I want her for all for myself. If you have crossed paths with 100,000 people and not impacted one of them enough to desire more than sex from you, you have damage on you and men can smell it and see it. You can't. You need to go and talk to somebody who sees it all on you. And I'm going to say this to you, ladies. I don't want anybody to take this wrong. I do not encourage any of you women to go get a therapist who is a woman. Not one of you should do it. I can say this and you'll all know I'm telling the truth. Women are emotional creatures. You are hyper emotional. Not only that, most women bond through what is known as the sister code. You guys lie to each other, right? Not only that, you hate on each other as well. Why do you think a lot of women say, I don't mess with BITCHs? Listen, if your therapist hasn't been doing well on the dating market, misery loves company. You could tell her that you just met a guy named Gary. He's crazy about you. He does everything that dating 101 says a man should do. Just because things aren't going well in her life, that woman has it in her to tell you, I think you should slow down. I'm just not sure based on all that you've been through. I'm not saying she's a bad person for it. I'm saying that you women are hyper emotional. Those of you ladies who are on here right now, you know I'm not lying because you've done it to your family members before. You've padded some bull crap that you know that they did. You've stood up for some bad behavior that you know they performed. Girl, you know they had that coming. You do you. You didn't do nothing wrong, and you know she did. You're hyper emotional. Not one of you should have a woman therapist. She's not going to condemn you to the extent that you need condemned. One of the ones we have going viral on 3 different platforms right now, it is titled, what is it? She called her guy up to check me and this happened. I'm going to show you the difference between men and women. You go to that, it's got about 40,000, 50,000 views right now, and it's going higher every hour, right? He knew her, he didn't know me. But him being a man associated with more logic than feelings, when he came on and heard the information I was pushing out, he wasn't able to side with her no matter how bad he wanted to. He had to side with logic. He didn't even know me. He knew her. It was more logical for him to side with her, especially if they're doing the do. But men don't really have it in them to buck against logic based on feelings. We don't really know how. We are logic based. A lot of you ladies are going to have to change yourselves. You're going to have to take yourself to the auto body shop to fix all of the areas that have been damaged about you that you know are damaged. The exorbitant amounts of sex, the drinking regularly, partying, overall putting wear on your mind and on your body. You don't think that has done anything to you? I'm 6'3.5". I didn't see myself get 6'3.5", but I would hear my grandfather and my uncle. I heard people saying that boy's getting tall, right? They saw it, but I'm me. I couldn't see it. It's the same with the wear that you have put on your mind and on your body. You don't even know you're numb to extremes now. And you need an exorbitant amount of healing done on you. You need to switch your entire crowd. You need to go to completely different places. I'm going to tell you why. You're going to need to go without sex for about 6 months, bare minimum, before you start to see any type of change. That's a heck of a commitment. Before you start to see any change and feel any types of better about yourself. Because once you start feeling better about yourself, you'll know all that it took for you to start feeling better about yourself. You'll know it took an extreme action of refraining away from that thing that gives all of us pleasure. You'll feel a sense of accomplishment. You'll feel better than the next person who's not able to pull that off. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. People always go out of their way to say things like, well, I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm better than anyone. I don't speak like that. I do move better than a lot of people. And I stand on it. And I'm proud of it. If not, I would be an average individual, which I am not. Right? I fight daily to be above average in multiple avenues of my life. Once you start feeling better about yourself based on that extreme move that you just made, based on how many people you know don't have the wherewithal to pull back and refrain from sex for 6 months, you'll start to feel higher about yourself, and you'll be less likely to go back on all of the work and progress that you've made to get yourself where you're at now. You'll even start desiring to go further and execute progress in other areas of your life. And guess what that'll do? You're not seeing it. But the same way you didn't see all of the damage that was taking place in your life, you won't notice it, but you're becoming a better person now. Think about it. I'm not drinking anymore. Or I've limited my drinking to X amount of drinks per week, right? I haven't had sex in 6 months. Once you start feeling better about yourself, it will get addictive. You will get endorphin releases. You will start craving to get that same sensation that you got when you realized it had been 3 months since you had sex. When you realized you pulled away from the partying life, knowing that that's difficult for other people to do. There is a severe and extreme endorphin release associated with that. You'll get addicted to it, and you'll start upgrading yourself in other areas of your life. And this is when you start turning into a better person. Listen, people, I know logically everything that I'm saying to you sounds good. Sounds logical. Tried, tested, and proven. Right? I've done this. It works. It's detrimental that you start desiring to go further, because you're going to continue getting the same type of men as long as you're banged up and bruised up. The work that can be done to bring about healing, there is definitely work that can be done, but you have to be open to doing it. You have to be open to doing the work. I keep telling you guys, listen, turbulence. We're about to shut the show down, but before we do, we're going to drop an atom bomb. I'm about to give you people, some of you who aren't new, I see we have new people here tonight. Those of you who aren't new, this may come as a shockwave across the eardrum, but we get results here, right? We get results here, and we don't care about the feelings of it. There is definitely work that can be done to bring about your healing, but you have to be open to doing it. And I'm about to give you a shortcut to change. First, you need to go on a streak of celibacy. I'd say 6 months. 6 months is too long of a change to just go back on it in a crazy way. It's too much work that was done. Next, I'm going to tell you this. Practice kissing a man's ass. Hold on. I don't mean letting a man walk over on you. I mean accommodating a man. Doing the things that you kind of don't feel like doing sometimes. Touching him in certain areas. Just when you guys are driving down the street, just putting your hand on his thigh and maybe even sliding it over there. Doing things, selfless things. You need to practice selflessness. The reason I say practice kissing a man's ass is because usually when women are doing something considerate of a man or catering to a man, typically that's when their girlfriends say, "You're kissing his ass." Those are the things that you need to practice doing. Quality men will not sit by and deal with a woman who only wants. You ladies need to learn how to start putting it on the top of your head. What can I do to make him smile today? Look all over TikTok. You're not seeing women say, if I had a man, what I would love to do for him. You're only hearing women talk about what they want from men. And men are tired of it. Quality men, they don't have to deal with it. Like, listen, a woman knows to not even approach me like that. What you're going to get from me, you're going to have an amazing time every time you're around me, right? But the women who I associate with, if I'm going to take it on a dating level or anything like that, as that thing starts turning into a dating situation, our conversations are going to evolve around each other, right? And you're going to get a glimpse of who I am. I'm not into women who have lost all senses of humanity, who have lost their down-to-earthness, who are over-consumed in sexuality and internet. You need to be able to pay attention to that corny joke that I just told. I'm not going to lie, my jokes are amazing, so that doesn't apply to me. But my girl Kanai up in this situation, listen, it's ironic that she just popped up. I often refer you guys, those of you who are rough around the edges, those of you who know you have some masculine ways about yourself, which men absolutely abhor. This woman has a group. I told you guys you need to associate yourself. About 15 minutes ago, I told you you need to detach from the circle that has not given you any progressive dating results, and you need to attach yourself to women who you know deep in your heart, I could see that men would desire her. Attach yourself to them. This is one of those women. Listen, she has a book group. I need you guys to go to TikTok. You see it down here. Kana Speaks the Real. Go to her TikTok. You can jump into her DM. Let her know what her book club is about. It's about women healing. This is a very feminine woman, right? I'm not going to run her accolades down, but men are crazy about her, right? She has established a large mass of men who value her. And I'm not talking about she's over sexual or any of that. Men see these type of women and we see the value in them, right? I want you guys, those of you who may be rough around the edges, may have grown up in certain environments, and I'm just going to say this, may have some healing that needs to take place because when you were younger, something may have happened, right? This woman has a book club that is geared towards women healing, getting in touch with their feminine. And it's not one of those corny situations, right? There's going to be some fun associated with it, some jokes, reading a chapter out of this book and now stopping that chapter, going over it. You guys need rebuilt. This engine needs rebuilt. You have incurred types of damage that are so severe, you don't even know you're damaged. Now, that's a hell of a degree of damage. When you don't know that you're damaged. But that is one of our resources. I always refer women to her. Just being around women like her, you will feel ashamed to demonstrate lewd behaviors. And that's what we all need. We all need to be around environments that shun bad behavior, that shame bad behavior. Because you'll look up and you'll been around that person for 3 to 5 months. And that means that's 3 to 5 months that you didn't smoke cigarettes anymore. 3 to 5 months that you weren't really out there letting just any old random guy who you thought was cute bed you. You'll look up and in 6 months, your life will have gotten better. You won't even notice it because you will have taken on a new lifestyle, right? As long as you're around that old crowd that didn't produce any of the results that you want for your life, you're going to continue to pick up bad habits of theirs. You're going to continue exercising behaviors that are known relationship repellents. You just need to ask yourself, Suave in this situation with the super chat. Appreciate it, appreciate it. I'm going to say this before we wrap it up. You guys don't have to adhere to any of this information. You don't have to adhere to any of the information. You don't have to change. But if you're not willing to, You also shouldn't be on social media complaining that you only have access to the Ray Rays and Pookies. Because the truth of the matter is, if you are a banged up car that has been on the dating highway way longer than you should have been, and trust, men can tell when you've been on that dating highway longer than you should have been. When you are a banged up body that has been on that dating highway longer than you should have been, there will be damages that you have incurred that everybody can see and recognize but you, and they're going to treat you and estimate your value at a banged up body, a banged up mentality assessment. That's why some of you are getting the results that you're getting. You don't know why he always asks to borrow money. You don't know why you hear the infamous belt buckle jingle every time you guys get done having sex. And there's new people here today. For those of you who don't know what I refer to the infamous belt buckle jingle, a lot of you know what it is. The moment that man has his orgasm and you hear that belt buckle, meaning he's putting his pants on, he's not associating you with any type of value at all. He hasn't even given you the assessment or the appraisal that you are worthy to be laid next to after you've given him your body, for him to put his arm around you. Listen, no one is responsible for your value but you. It's you. You can't even look at the man and say he gets up and leaves every time that's you. If your value was high enough, that man wouldn't want to leave your side. How about that? Smoke and talk up in this situation. Baltimore in this building. You know what it is. Listen, people, we're about to get up out of here. We have more elevating. We have more progress to make. We have more leveling up to do. Listen, you guys need to pay attention this week. We're going to drop an entirely different aesthetic look. But you know what it is. We've been talking about this. The hottest show online, right? We're out of here.